Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have an interesting puzzle. I'm not sure what the name here means, but as you can see, it's 183654729 by Jeremy Dover. Let's just jump into rules and see what's going on, because I have not looked at any of these. It just intrigued me, the layout of this thing, so as well as the name, of course. So we've got normal Sudoku rules apply, so every row, column, and 3x3 box will contain the digits 1 through 9 once each. Then we've got ratio pairs. Oh, so crop key is another way of saying it. Digits separated by a black dot must be in a 2-to-1 ratio. So all of these black dots are the crop keys. So whatever this digit is, this one is either double or half of it. That's what the black dots are. Then we've got missing double thermos. I don't think I've ever heard of this before, so let's figure out what it is. On a gray bulbless thermo, the odd digits must increase in one direction along the line, and the even digits must increase in the opposite direction. Okay? So I guess it's kind of, not like a yin-yang, but sort of the odds and evens are dueling with each other, I guess was... Oh, maybe that's the... Okay. I now understand what the title means. If you want to take a second to look at it yourselves, I'll give you a second. But the title, if you look at it, you can see from the left side, you've got 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. And from the right side, you got 2, 4, 6, 8. So that makes sense with what this rule set here is. But we can actually just use this title as an example, which is nice. On these thermos, they are the digits 1 through 9, but we have odds going in one direction, evens going in another direction in a thermo style, so they must be increasing in value. So if we were to, again, put the these digits into this thermo, it would break this guy here, but you get the point. We could do 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Those would all be increasing from the odd perspective. And then 2, 4, 6, 8 would all be increasing from the even perspective, going the other direction. So cool. That's an interesting rule set that I've not seen before. So that's all the rules. So with that said, let's jump in this one, see if we can get it figured out. It seems like it's quite interesting. And I have no idea what the difficulty of this one is, because I think I've had it set up here for a couple of days now, and my memory's horrible. So anyway, it's going to be fun, whatever difficulty it is. The link is going to be in the description below, so let's get a go on this thing. Now, we're going to have to figure out, of course, how to get into this thing. And I'm wondering if these thermos are the way to do it. Because again, we're going to have some combination of digits, like the title of this thing. But, well, maybe the way the crop keys interact will help. Because let's look at this one first. This is the one that seems the most intriguing for some reason, because the crop keys are on the end here. We know the odd digits are increasing from one side and the even digits are increasing from one side. So it could be 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 2, 4, 6, 8, something like that, or shuffling them together like the title does. Now, does that reduce what this crop key can be? It does, because if this was a 1-2 pair, let's say, we would now have the lowest odd and lowest even digit on the right side. So both the even and the odds would have to be increasing from the same side, and they can't do that. 2, 4 could work. 4, 8 cannot, because if this is a 4, 8 pair, we have to be able to put a 6 in between the two, like on the line. That's not going to work. And then the 2 has to find its way in somewhere. So 4, 8 doesn't work. So the only possibility that works from the 2, 4, 6, 8, or the 1, 2, 2, 4, 4, 8 grouping would be 2, 4. Now there still is the 3, 6 possibility on our crop key here. 3, 6 will never work, because again, it doesn't matter where you put the 3 or the 6. If we put a 3 here, the 1 has to go over here somewhere, but then the 5, 7, and 9 have to go over here. That can't work. If the 3 goes here, we have no place to put a 1 before you put a 5, 7, and 9. So that can't be a 3, 6. So it is a 2, 4, and the 2 must be the first one because it's a thermo. So this is 2, then 4. And then we know somewhere out here we have a 6 and an 8, and then some way we have going this way are the 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Now, I don't think we can necessarily say what this digit is, because this could be the 8. And then we could start our 1 at some other point. Okay. That's interesting. So, does this 2, 4 affect this guy? Because what can this be now? It can either be 1, 3, 6, or 8. Now, I don't think it can be a 1 again. No, it can't, because if this is a 1, this is a 2. And then there's no way to make either one of those work properly, because if you put the 2 here, you can't, well, you could put 4, 6, 8 out here somewhere like that, but then you have this 1 sitting out here by itself, and it would have to have like a 3 and a 5 and a 7 and a 9, and that doesn't work on a thermo. The other way would be if this is a 1 and a 2, and you wanted to have the evens go up this way, you'd have to have 4, 6, and 8 all shoved into here to allow the 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 to work, so that doesn't work. This is not a 1. Can we think similarly on the other options? I don't know that we can, because this could easily be a 3, and you could have a 1 in one of these two. Well, that's not true, can it? Because you can make the odds go this way if this was a 3 and one of these was a 1. But that forces this to be a 6. Oh no, that actually would work, sorry. I was thinking about it the opposite way. And then we'd have a 2 or a 4 somewhere out here. And this would be our 6, and one of these would be the 8. So that is possible. What about the other way? If this was a 6, that would force this to be a 3. Again, you'd have to have a 1 over here somewhere. So you could do the 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, however. And if we said this was a 6, in this situation, we'd be coming this way with the evens again. So we'd have 2, 4, 6, whatever, and an 8. So in either case, if this was a 3 or a 6, these would be a 1, 8 pair. What about if this was an 8? The evens would have to be coming from this side, because we obviously can't put 2, 4, and 6 before we get to an 8. Oh wait, we said the 8s don't ever work on these things at all. Because again, if this was an 8, this would have to be a 4, and then where do you put the 6 in the sequence? You can't put it on the line. This is not 8. So this is either a 3 or 6, which means this was, like we determined, a 1 or an 8. So the odds are always starting on this side. The evens are always starting on this side. So we have to have the extremes to make this work. Okay, this is a 3, 6 pair. Can we start? Do we want to continue thinking about this? Or do we need to think about now these guys and how they work? Because we're going to have similar situations, I think. Although maybe not quite as constrained. Again, we can't do a 1, 2. Because we're going to have the same problems we encountered down here. We would have to have both the odd and the even increasing from the same side, and it just would never work because you have this little gap here as well. You could be 2, 4. Again, you can't do 4, 8 because you can't put a 6 in the middle, but you could have a 3, 6 either. So what if this was a 2, 4? The evens would be going up this way, so the 6s and the 8s would be somewhere out here. The odds would be coming up from this way, so this would be a 9. If that was a 2, 4. If it was a 3, 6, this would have to be a 1, no matter where the 3 are. Well, actually, wouldn't that break if it's a 3? Let's think about the options on that one. Let's look down. Let's keep these up here and just look down on this line as a proxy. So if this was a 3-6 or 6-3, we'll go both ways. If this is a 3, this has to be a 1. But this also has to be an 8, because you're going to have the evens or the odds coming from this direction, and the evens will be coming from this direction. So it can't be 3-6 this way. If this is a 3, this is still a 1, and the odds would be going up this way, and the evens would have to come in. This would have to be both a 1 and an 8. Yeah, so it doesn't work, actually. That's interesting. This can't be a 3-6 pair. So it is a 2-4. This is the 2. This is the 4. And this, therefore, is a 9, because like we said, the evens are going up this way. The odds have to go up this way. And 9 is clearly the highest digit. Okay. Let's continue. I guess we might have something similar here. These, again, can't be 1, 2, because the evens and odds would be coming from the same direction. It can't be a 2-4, because we have this as a 2-4 pair. This could be 3-6, and it cannot be a 4-8, because, again, we can't put a 6 on the line. So this just is a 3-6. Now, if this is a 3-6, no matter where the 3 goes, the 1 has to be on this side, because we don't have enough real estate to get 5, 7, and 9, plus the 9 is already here. So the odd digits are going this way, the even digits going this way. Therefore, this is a 1-8 pair, similar to what this was. Okay. We can also then say that there's a 5 and a 7 down here, and whatever this one is goes down here as well. Maybe we need to think about those situations here. I think we can, because we know we have to put a 9 somewhere. It can't go here, so it has to be one of these. There has to be a 7 somewhere. It can't go here, because then we don't have anywhere to begin or end the odds. So there's a 7 up here. This can't be a 3, because again, we can't put a 1 on this side. This can't be, actually, this can't be, maybe there's something more about this digit we can actually just give it. Does this have to be a 6? No, it doesn't. Yeah, it does. I might have been wrong about the 9 here. Let's go back and think about that. Why can't this be a 9? It absolutely could be a 9. Don't know why I said it couldn't be. Yes, because the even digits, or the even digits are going this way, the odd digits are going this way. So this is either going to be the final odd digit, which would be 9, or it's the next even digit in line, which is a 6. Okay. Now we know there's a 5 and a 7 up here. Which I don't think is super helpful. And then whatever the other digit is whatever's left over from these two. Okay. So there wasn't really as much there. This can't be 9. Can we use that to our advantage? Because we know the odds are going this way. So this is not 9. How far can the 9 go? I guess this is as far out as it could be. Is that accurate to say? Because if this was a 9, our odds would be, yeah, that would never work because we have 1, 3. We need at least a 5 and a 7. So this one of these two is 9. Because we have to have room to put 1, 3, and then 5 and 7 before we get to a 9. The other way I was thinking about it was if it was a 9, these would all have to be even digits, but we've already used 2 of our evens, so that would never work. What about thinking about this further, where would a 2 go? I guess we could still put a 2 out here. Like this could be 2 and 4. Before we got to our 6, 8 in whatever positions they are on. Can we do anything with... No, okay. If the 9 has to be here, the 9 can... Well, never could have gone in any of these. This is the closest the 9 can ever get. But that doesn't really help us any, because it could be any of these 3 digits. Okay. Is there something about this guy? I haven't even thought about this middle section yet. I don't know that we can do much more on these guys, though, at the moment. Because it's the same situations across kind of the board here. Okay, let's look at this guy, because it also has a Kropke on a 9-cell thermo. Could this ever be a 1 or 2? It actually looks like it could be. We know it has to be from the 1, 2, 4, 8 grouping, because it can't be a 3 or a 6. Now, we said the 4, 8 doesn't ever work, so it's not that. So there is a 2 on this. Now, I think we can reduce the options on it, because if we said this is the 1, this would be the 2 in this possible scenario. The 3, 5, 7, 9 would have to go this way. The 2, 4, 6, 8 would have to go this way. We can't swap them around. If this is a 1 on this side, this would still be 3, 5, 7, 9, 2, 4, 6, 8. Is it possible to force this to be a 1, 2? Or to not make it a 1, 2? Because I think we said that in either instance of the 1 and the 2 groupings, we're forcing 3, 5, 7, 9 and 4, 6, 8. But what about our 2, 4 grouping? The 2, 4 could go, I think could do anything. And then that would really, and the 1, 3, 5, 7, 9s would all get jumbled up however they need to work. Because if this is 2, 4, we have a 6, 8 somewhere over here. And then we just have to have a 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. If this is 2, 4, we have a 6 or an 8 out here, then it's some version of 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So I don't think we can get too much into that, which is a shame. The 2 in this region, can we reduce it? It can't go here because we have to be able to have at least a 2, 4, 6, 8. So one of these is a 2. It would be nice to remove it from here, because then that would force it over here. Well, not there, but we know. No, there's multiple ways that that could work. What about the 9 looking this way? Is it similar to this? Because we've got 1, 3, and some... Yeah, so 5 and 7 have to, at minimum, come in here. So one of these is 9. That forces a 9 down here by Sudoku. I don't think this is really helping very much, though. Are any of these other Kropkes going to help us out here? If one of these is 9, this has to be 2. Because the odd is ending at some point in one of these two spaces. So we can't have an odd digit And we must have the even going up. This is just a 2. Okay, I didn't see that earlier. So this is either like a 2, 4, and then a 9, or it's a 2 and a 9, and then some positioning otherwise. Okay, so one of these is a 2. What about you? Because you can no longer have a 2 on it. So you're not 1, 2, or 2, 4. But you could still be 4, 8, or 3, 6. And it can be 4, 8 because it's not on our thermo situation. Don't know that we can really do too much reduction on this guy. We know it's not 1, 2, or 2, 4 because of this 2. But still, it could be 3, 6, or 4, 8 again. And we don't quite have 3, 4, 6, 8 quad here, although we're close to it, I guess. These guys could be anything. There's nothing holding it back. Because whether this is 3, 6, or 4, 8, this could be any of the other possibilities that are left over. Okay. Is there any grouping of how these would break anything? Like, let's say this was a 4, 8 pair. The 4 would have to be in one of these 2 places. But it could easily go in either one. Oh wait, let's think about it from the opposite, the way we thought about this. This can't ever be 2. Therefore, it can't be any of the other evens, and it has to be the last odd, so this just is 9. Now, I don't know that did anything for us, but it's something at least. We already knew there was a 9 down there. What about, let's think about these endpoints a little bit further then. This is either a 1 to start off the odds going this way, or it's an 8 to finish the evens coming this way. That gives us a 1, 8 pair. There we go. This is not 4, 8. This is a 3, 6, therefore this is not 3, 6. Okay, that's interesting. This is not 4. Come on, we've got to be able to figure something else out of this now. Now this one can't be 3, 6, so it's either 1, 2, 4, 8. This can't be 4, so this can't be 8. I don't think that's very helpful, but this is... Okay, let's look down here maybe. Because this again is either... I think this might help us. This is either the very last even, which would be 8, or it's the very first odd, which would be a 1. We get another 1, 8 pair, which has work that it can do. Let's just make sure I'm right about this. Yeah, this is either starting off the odds or it's ending the evens. Yeah, that's it. This is a 1, 8 pair. This is 4 and 8. That then tells us 1 and 8. That 8 gives us 1. We've got 8s looking down in here. So one of these, well, not that one. One of these is an 8. This could be the ending 8. Or it could be some group of odd digits. Okay. 4s. One of these is a 4. I don't see anything that's necessarily denying us either one of those options. Let's continue looking at what Sudoku might be able to do for us, if anything. I'm really hoping to get something out of this guy, and maybe it can propagate out. So this is the end of the 8, or the evens. This is the start of the odds. We know we have 3 and 6 in here. So we need to get 2, 4, 5, and 7 into this grouping. It's not really helpful. What else? What can we determine? Still can't really do much more on this one, I don't think. There has to be a 4 in one of these, but again, there's a lot of wiggle room there. Does this 4-8 create any issue here? I don't think it did, because we were talking mostly about the evens being down here and the odds being up here. And then in the case that there was if this was, well, I guess we can't ever, okay, let's think about that then. Let's go back to this. We had gone through a couple of options here about how the 1 and the 2 or the 2 and the 4 could be working. If this is a 2-4, it is 2-4 this way. These would always have a 6 and an 8 on them. In that option, we no longer can go 2-4 this way. So if it's a 2-4, these are 6 and 8. I thought we said in the 1-2 combination, these would always be the evens as well. Because we could have a 1-2. If this is a 1, the odds, have to take up these other positions because there's not enough room down here. And the same thing goes here. If this is an odd digit, the 1, these must be the remaining odds. So these are always from 6 and 8. We can't say anything about the 4 yet because it could be on here. But if this is a 6-8 pair, this can't be 8, which means this is, well, not necessarily. It could be 1, 2, or 2-4. Okay. Now, are we guaranteed that these are 3, 5, 7, 9? Let's think about that one more time just to make sure. If this is a 1 and this is a 2, these are 4, 6, 8, and these are 3, 5, 7, 9. If this is a 1 and this is a 2, these are 4, 6, 8. These are 3, 5, 7, 9. If this is 2 and this is 4, these have to have a 6 and an 8 on them because the 2 and the 4 have been used and they're going in this direction. We also have to have a 1 on this side, and these are 3, 5, 7, 9. This is 3, 5, 7, 9. There's no other way this works because of all the way these things go together. This is 6 and 3. Okay. What did that do for us? We know one of these is a 2, by the way. So this isn't. So we do have like a little X-wing on 2s, but whatever. Okay. What did that give us? Fours. The 7s and the 9s still can go multiple places, though, in this row. I thought we might get something out of this. So we know this is either 4, 6, 8, or it's 6, 8 with a 1. I'm going to put those in the options. And see if it does anything for us. One of these must be an 8. Because of our Sudoku. Kind of wish we had another 1-8 pair to deal with something up here, but we don't. What about the 3s? One of these is a 3. One of these is a 6. Not liking all this marking because it's just kind of obscuring things a little bit. We said the 8 went down here somewhere. 2, 4, 6, What about, let's just look at 9s for a second and see if there's something in that. Okay, one of these is 9, which means one of these two is a 9. So you got 3s and 9s down here at the moment. What can you be? Because we've got a lot of stuff looking at it. Can't be, well, it can't be 1, can't be 2, can't be 3. It could be 4 or 5 or 7. Nah, that didn't really do anything. I thought it might. Wait, 1, 2, 4, 6, 8. We have a quintuple here, if I've done this correctly. 1, 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, this is not 4. This is not 1. This is a, oh wait, I hit the wrong button there. This is a 1-2 pair now. Let's get rid of this stuff. So this becomes a 1-2 pair, which means this becomes a 7-9. If that's the case, this is 5. There has to be a 7 down here, so this is a 3-7-9 pairing, or triple, I should say. This not being the 9. These then have to be from what, 5 and 6? I was hoping we'd have something there to help us out, but it doesn't appear to. It looks like we've got a ton of information now. I just have to figure out what the heck it means. Or how to work it. What about this digit? Could be 3. Can't be 4, can't be 5. Could be 6. Can't be 5 because of this down here. Can't be 7, 8, or 9. So it's either a 3 or a 6. It's not coming together there yet. Okay. What other logic can we possibly put onto this thing? Starting to think on 5s, but there's 2 places it can go. Obviously, it can't go here because we can't put a 7 between the 2. This can't be 7. Okay, so one of these is 7. Maybe that's it. Because this can no longer be 7. This can't be 7 because we'd have no place to put a 5. So it pushes it over here. We get an X-wing on 7s, which means these are not 7s. This is a 7. These are little bits and pieces here, but they're doing something at least. Can't do much more with this because we haven't decided what this is yet. Now, if one of these is a 7, does that do anything? Not necessarily, because I think the 2s are still out there causing problems, because the 2 could go here, or technically here. Because this could be 2, 4, 6, 8, and then we get 1, 3, 5, 7. So there's still options there. We still haven't, oh wait, this one right here is just a given digit now. What is it? 4. Okay. Look at the basics. So one of these is a 4. It still doesn't help, does it? Because this could still be 2, 4 this way. Come on now, where are we? We can't rule out this being a 4 yet. It would be nice if we could get there, but we can't, because that would at least get us some information. Let's look at this further again and see if there's anything in it that I might have just missed. One or the 2, the 1 definitely works here, because 1, 2, 4, 6, 8. This being a 1 definitely works because it's just the same thing, just rearranging the digits. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. 1, 2, 4, 6, 8. And then the other option again was the 2. This was a 2, this is a 4. These are a 1, 6, 8. Yeah, I don't see how we can go any further with that just yet. Sadly. I haven't thought about this guy at all. I don't know how useful thoughts are of it. Because we don't have the restraint of it being all of the digits that must go on it. So there's going to be a reduced grouping. Let's maybe think about the ends of this thing, and maybe something will come of that. What can this be? It can't be 1, 2, or 4. It could be 3, 5, 6, or 9. That isn't very helpful. And I don't think we're going to get much help off of this either, because there's less options that it could be, or there's more options that it could be. We know it can't be 1 or 2, but it could be 3, can't be 4, 5, 6, 7, no, not 7, but 8. This 1, 2 pair doesn't do much. Okay. So we've got these kind of mid-ish to high-ish end caps here that I don't know we can do a whole lot with. Because we can't necessarily, I mean, we do have a 7 here, but we can't necessarily rule out like a 5 or a 9, because we don't have to put a 7 on this thing. One of these is a 7. Let's think about it that way. Maybe that's where I need to look, yeah. These can't be 7s. So this is a 7-9 pair. If it's a 7-9 pair, this is the 7, this is the 9, this is then a 4. Okay, that's something. This can't be 7 anymore. What are these two? They are 4 and 5. They could go in either position, because we now have the 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and the 2, 4, 6, 8 already figured out. Okay. Let's continue thinking about what these possibilities can be. What are they? 3, 5, 6, and 8. This can't be 8. This can't be 5 or 6, because if it was either one of those, we'd be breaking our thermos in either direction. So this just is 3, which means this is 6. This could be exactly what we needed. That 6 is going to get us to the 5 and the 6. This can't be 5. What are these two? Are 3 and 7. I'm wanting more of this to be worked out than this stuff here. But let's continue looking at it. This is not 7. So we've in this column now, we got to have 3, 6, and 9 in these 3. We can't have a 9 up here. This is a 3, 6 pair, which means this is 9. This is not. Okay, getting a little bit more movement. Therefore, this is not 5, which means this is, because it's the only place left now. This has to be 7. 3, 7. Still doesn't want to tell us what these are at the moment, but that's okay. We're going to keep on moving here. So, now what have we done? Got a 1. This can't be an... Oh, that's not true. It could be an 8. Because we have 2, 4, 6 could go anywhere in the 8, or we have the 1, 3 to a 5. There has to be a 7 in one of these two, actually. Okay. None of these are 7, so one of these is. I think we're getting pretty close here as to what is what. Just gotta make sure we've got things correct. What other clues do we have? Or is there anything we can do on any of these other thermos? If we know one of these is a 7, does that mean much to us? What about 5? Because if we can pair a 5, 7, we're golden. We can't remove a 5 from here is the problem. So there's 3 places a 5 could go. Let's think about this in a broader sense, maybe. We know one of, oh wait, one of these is a 5. I didn't see my own pencil marking, so this can't be a 5. This is 8 and 5. Okay. Now, that still doesn't work out any of these, but what does it do in here at least? Let's try to see what those options are. These have to be from 6, 7s, 8s, and 9s. Now, these clearly can't be 9s. This can't be 7. 6, 8. This can't. Hold on. I had a thought in my head and I'm trying to make it work logically, but I'm not sure if it does. One of these has to be 7, so one of these has to be 9. This can't ever be 6, because then we can't put an 8 past it. This can't ever be a 6, 8 pair, because that's what I was thinking of earlier. If this was a 6, 8 pair, it breaks, because where do you put a 9? You obviously can't put it anywhere. So if this can't be a 6, 8 pair, this can't be an 8, because it forces this to be a 6. That gives us a 6, 9 pair, which means one too many there. This is a 7, 8 pair. Again, I'm just waiting for one of these things to break the rest of this. Let's just think about what these all can be then. We need 1. This might do it, actually. We need a 1 and a 2. I'm going to change the way I mark this. 1 and 2 have to go in this thing in some place. Then we have 3, 6, and 9 left over. There's no 6, though. So one of these actually is 6. This isn't. This couldn't have ever been an 8, so I could have took that out previously. What else can we say? Is it something more basic? Like this can't be a 6 anymore. One of these two is a 6. One of these is a 6. This can't ever be a 6. This could be, this could be. This guy does not want to give up the ghost. Where's the last little thing I need? I guess we need to dive into this. 1, 2, 3, 6, 9. No 6s. 2, 3, 6, 9, and a 5. Or 1, 2, 3, 9, and 5, sorry. So, how can this thermo work? Could this ever be a 1? I think the answer is no. Well, this can't be a 2 here, actually. This can't be a 3 or a 9. Let's just look at our basic Sudoku here. There has to be to pick this out. If this was a 1, that would be fine, because this would be 2, 3, 9, or 3, 5. If this is a 1, that would be starting our odds, and they would be going up this way. That would force this both of these to be evens, which they cannot be. This is not 1, this is 2. Let me just make sure I did the logic there correctly. If this is a 1, this is a 3 or a 9. The odds are going up this way. These would both have to be even, and they can't be. Correct, this is 2. This is not. Now we know our evens are going this way, so our odds have to go this way. So this is not 9. This can never be a 1 anymore, because if it was a 1, this would again be going up this way. This can't be, so we know the odds are going this way, so this can't be 3. This actually can't be 9 because it would cap this off. This is 3 and 1. Now we know what this is finally, 2 and 4. These are not 4. We get a 1, 6, 8, so this is 4 and 2. Took forever, but we finally got this thing to open up for us. So we know the 6, 8 goes in some grouping this way, and then the 1 just fills in the blank. And this can't be 1, so this is 6. So this is a 1, 8 pair. This 3 says what all this is going to be. This is 9, 6. This has to be, well, these both are 5, 9 pair. Don't quite know which one it is because the 1, 3 could go up to the 5 or the 9. Good. This is no longer a 9, which forces this to be. The 6 here gives us our 3 and our 6 and 3. Now we've got to be into a point where we can just crank on this stuff. This 4 here gives 5 and 4. This has to be a 7 or an 8 by the column. Okay, I'm going to do a quick look here. Don't think any of that can be determined. Let's think about what these guys are doing now and what their possibilities are. So what can you be? We've got 2, 4, 5, and 7. It can't be 7. Okay, this can't be 2 or 4. Let's just make sure that's right again. Sometimes we've got lots of markings, so I gotta make sure I do this properly because I've had problems in the past with that. 2, 4, 5, and 7 are the only thing these can be. This cannot be 2 or 4 or a 7. It is 5. Therefore, this is 4. Good. This is a 2, 7 pairing now, so this is the 7 and the 2, and this guy works because 2, 4, 6, 8, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Good. That 7 tells us 9 and 7. That tells us 5 and 9. Good, 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 good. We're getting there. We're almost there. This 2 says this is a 2. This is not. What is this? What's left over that this can be, actually? It's either 1, 7, 8, or 6 by the column. Then we can remove options here. It can't be 7. So it's just 1, 6, or 8. Not great. I don't know if we have enough to get into this one yet. Let's look at these guys first, maybe. What are your 1, 6, and 8 as well? This is not 6. Hoping we'd have something there. What about you 3? And then maybe how it, let's look up here. Let's try to stay on this thermo. This is either a 1 or an 8. Is it possible? It can't ever be a 1 because we can't get, 1 would be starting, the odds would be starting here and going up. We can't put 3, 5, and 7 into these. This is 8. Therefore, we get a 1, 8, 1 that finally differentiates itself. This is 8. This is 6 and 1 and 8 and what is this? 1. Therefore, 2 and 1. I think we might actually have it now. This is 8 and 1 and 7 and 8. That 8 goes up to the 7. This has to be a 6 to get to our 8. And these are just given, but let's look at it from the thermo perspective. We need to build a 3 and a 5, so there has to be 1, 3, 5 in that order. 3 and 5. And there we go. you solve the puzzle. Solution is correct. It took a little while. As you can see, it doesn't have very many solves in almost a month's worth, so this must have been one of the harder ones. It took me about 50 minutes, give or take, I think like 6 minutes of talking at the beginning, or something like that. I don't remember. But great puzzle. Really enjoyed it. That was a tough one to get into. Really having to dig into what these thermos were doing and how the crop keys affected them. And then little bits and pieces started to pop up between these areas where we can get some reductions into what could and couldn't be, and then get down into it. So really enjoyed that puzzle. I'm glad the title made sense after reading the rules. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking and say goodbye. Hope you enjoyed this one as always, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot.